Mo?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring 100% to the show.
It's like you're staring at this very complicated, like, bushy environment. There's trees and there's like jagged edges. And then all of a sudden it becomes clear to you that there's a way through it.
Right, you see a path.
It's like the light hits it in a certain way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking? And then it's a clearing. It's like, how did I not see that before?
It's like the movies, yeah.
It's right there. All I have to do is walk that way, and I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm going to make...
I'm running.
It's like the moment you're in the wilderness, and you're like, I'm going to die out here, right? And I'm going to die out here. I'm going to die out here. And it's like this constant repeat in your brain. And then that moment happens, and you say, I'm going to get out of here.
Yeah.
I'm going to live. I'm not going to die. Isn't it interesting, those two separate paths?
Yes.
They both exist. It's always an option. Am I going to live or am I going to die? And if I am going to die, I'm going to go down fighting. If I am going to die, if I'm going to die anyway, I'm going to die the way I want to die. Not the way you want me to die.
Yeah.
Stop threatening me, Mo.
Sorry about that.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's another afternoon. It's another show. There's so much to talk about. Willie Doo is fired up. Mo is fired. I never saw these guys this fired up. We had a pre-discussion. We don't normally have a pre-discussion. Normally we come straight on, but these guys were like, "Yo, let's get down here. Let's get down to business." Was what they said. And I said, "Okay, man, you want to get things fired up? You want to prime the engine, so to speak? We can talk. Let's have a chat." Mo puts the order in. He orders the food. He's been starving for, I don't know, the last 3 hours or so.
I've been hungry.
And so we had a chat, and then on the other side of the chat, it is just absolute fire coming out of these locations. Willie Doo's got most of the stories today. Most of the stories today you submitted.
It's a Willie Doo day.
It might be a Doo day, as far as I can tell. It might be a Mountain Dew or a Willie Doo. I don't know. It's one of the two Doos. But that's the D-E-W. That's the Dew. That's the morning dew. You ever encountered the morning dew or just the Mountain Dew? Okay.
Yeah.
Are you more of a morning dew or more of a Mountain Dew?
Morning.
It's funny that Mountain Dew is called Mountain Dew when you think about it, right? Because ain't nothing in the mountains like Mountain Dew. I'll tell you that right now. You ever tasted that stuff?
You mean like a very bright?
You can run your car.
drink?
You can run your car on that stuff.
Yeah.
If you knew that. Oh, man. Shout out for all the super chats coming in. We love you back. The support is tremendous here. It's unbelievable. Boost FX, shout out. Willie Doo was very concerned about this story. I don't know how you want to play it. Do you want to rant? Do you want me to rant? You want to kick it off and then I'll get in there? It's completely up to you.
You could talk about it.
I'll get into it. And
you could start
and
it
then
off.
you'll dabble. I'll get into it. You'll dabble. Studio display, a power cable is non-removable. Shout out Casey. This was something that we noticed.
Did we notice?
Well, Mo noticed.
He noticed.
We got to give Mo credit on this. He was watching all the videos.
Shout out.
That's like Dave 2D's video.
Did you want to get one of these? Why were you watching Dave 2D's video? Or are you just supporting Dave?
I'm supporting Dave, but also the guy just kills it with his thumbnails. It's hard not to click
you
on
like
it.
the thumbnail got you in. And
look at that thumbnail, man.
His video, Mac Studio Review, the need for speed written in all caps.
Yeah.
So we got to put that part in there as well. He put a little finesse on the word speed. So you see Dave 2D not immune to the tactics, a couple of tactics. Shout out Dave. He's coming on the show soon. He just doesn't know it yet.
Okay. I was going to say you talked to him.
Anyways, so you're watching his video, and he's got the studio display in there as well. And you notice the non-removable. He's trying to tug on the cable. You notice the non-removable cable. Oh, there's the tug.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
He actually noticed it as soon as he opened it. He said when he was pulling it out, he noticed the cable was attached. Which,
Look at
if
this.
you remember in the iMac, it was not attached.
Will has the clip on repeat of the tug. Yeah, you would notice that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would notice that.
I'm just really curious about why they made it non-removable. Because they have the iMac
Yes.
that
which
is magnetized and it is removable.
Mhm.
And it's not that much smaller. It's 24 inch
24 inches.
compared
yeah.
to the 27 inch
Yep.
for the studio display. I looked into how Mac Rumors created a post about the non-removable studio display, which for some reason they took it down. So that led me to like a weird rabbit hole of
Yeah.
okay,
Why
let's
are you
investigate
hiding
this further. I went to the Wayback Machine, as you do.
Oh my!
I didn't know about
told you
this.
he was on fire today.
I was
he
just
went
like, what's
way
going on here?
Told you to get out of his way today.
Yep.
And then I'm like, you want me to take this one over? And he's like, I'll just dabble from the sideline. Meanwhile, in
So
the
I-
background, he's like, shut up, because I got everything lined up.
Yeah,
I got
I was horned up about
He's
this.
got a whole investigation. He's got the cork board with the string and the pins. He's connected everything at this point. There is no mystery. Go ahead, Will.
And the Wayback Machine shows the original post, which was deleted, and it says, that it's not removable. And I didn't know that at that time, right? I was just trying to figure out why is there no news outlet that's talking about this.
Right.
And
Yeah.
when you search in Google about the studio display that's non-removable, you don't see any searches. It's all pointing to the Mac Rumors website or that post. See, the PSA studio display power cable is non-removable.
Which is bizarre because Apple content is very
So-
in-depth and spread out.
Yeah. And in the Mac Rumors post, they outlined this creator. I don't know how you pronounce his name. Olier?
Olier. Yeah, I know him. He's Ultralinks, right?
Ultralinks.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I know him.
Shout out.
Well, I mean, I
he
don't
makes
know him
good
personally. I
videos.
don't know him personally, but yeah.
So on the box of the studio display, it shows the cable that is not there. It's only a circle, right? And he tries to tug on it as well. I think over here, which,
Another tug.
yeah, spoiler alert, it's non-removable. Let's just get that out of the way.
It's don't you
can't remove it.
No more tugging. Stop tugging, because
Which-
it's not gonna come out.
Which I don't understand why.
Let them have it, Will. Let the people have it.
I don't,
Somebody in the chat said you woke up and chose violence today. You're
Yeah.
pissed about this. You shouted at me. I was all the way down there. Back me up on this, Mo.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people won't believe it because they see your disposition. But Will yelled at me at the other end, and he said,
I was like, breaking news.
"Yes, that's exactly what happened." He said
He says,
the
you can't
cable
believe this.
is not removable, and it really bothered you.
Yeah. Sorry, I just want to show that again. Yeah, it's like it's one of Apple's tactics, I guess, right? But this would make it really inconvenient to repair
Oh,
if the
God.
cable,
If the cable gets
Classic,
frayed, well,
sure.
and you know, we should also mention here, guy like Will, he's got a pet. There are pets out there that chew on cables. Hey, no accusations here. I never saw Otis chew on anything before.
yeah, he's a good boy.
Mo's like, yeah, right.
I chew on them.
But I'm saying, I mean, it's kind of insane that if a
Right.
dog chewed on this cable,
You have to get a new studio
I guess,
display.
well, no, I mean, you could,
Well, you have to bring the whole thing.
well, you
to the
could
store.
splice it together yourself and have some Frankenstein looking.
No, but come on. You have a studio display. You want it to look mint, like Apple wants you to. Right? No? Am I
No,
wrong
I'm
here?
not saying that you should splice it together. I'm just saying you could, but ideally you're going to go get it repaired. You're not going to throw it out.
No.
You're going to go, and what is Apple going to charge for that repair? It's probably ridiculous too, I would guess.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've shared those figures yet, but the whole thing could be avoided and you would have less downtime on your display. And the crazy part, I'll tell you the real crazy part about that. I know he's irate. The real crazy part is that they're calling it a studio display, meaning that they expect it to be used in mission critical work environments, like places that are creating content and offices and studios and with demands on time and delivery dates and things like this. Can you imagine your power cable gets busted and you got the downtime with the display, and it could have been the simplest fix of just having a modular cable like everything else does. And they went so far, like you said, with the iMac to make it so if you trip on it, because if you trip on this one, it ain't coming loose. The whole thing's going down.
Yeah. And you're going to be moving it around sometimes, right? If it's meant to be a studio display, moving it around the office.
And you can't remove the cable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So listen, I don't think anybody likes it. I don't think there's any advantage we can think of other than possibly shipping. Maybe there's a cost advantage in manufacturing. Customers don't care about this. Maybe there's a space savings element to it. Maybe they could make the display thinner by not having it removable. But
did they make it thinner? I don't think they made it thinner.
I'm just looking at those displays over there.
And
The Pro Display XDR. And do you notice how the cable actually does poke out quite far?
Yep.
From that display? The power cable I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Maybe it is a thinness thing, a depth thing that a typical
would have to stick out.
three prong may have had to stick out a little bit because the iMac, they put the power separate on the floor.
Yes, where you can plug your Ethernet in as well.
They put the power adapter on the floor. Well, then it begs the question, which is the ideal one?
Well,
If let's say you can't choose the 3-prong typical from the previous monitors.
Wait, the iMac is
The new iMac.
the magnet.
Yeah, we're talking about the new.
They have the power.
The power brick is on the floor with an Ethernet.
Oh, I see.
Port.
There we go.
Shout out Bobby. Willie do appreciates it. Little Bronco shout out. Yeah, so that's the connector portion, but then the other piece has to sit on the floor.
Yes.
In the top left corner. Okay, so let me ask you this then. And I don't know how people feel about this. But let me ask you this. If your option was this, something on the floor, but it is detachable, magnetic even if you want, and maybe even have an Ethernet port on it. Because you don't need it because your Mac Studio has it. But for the laptop, you don't have it. So the display, it could be useful to have an Ethernet port since it is. Would you like this adapter instead of the permanently attached power cable?
Yes, this adapter.
Even if it means you have something sitting on the floor.
Yeah. I don't like the idea of something being permanent. If I have an option for it to not be permanent, then I'll lean that way.
Yep. I think I'm going with you on that.
Yeah.
I have to assume this would be more expensive and as far as the economics go and everything else, but I do agree with you, Will. It's a little bit odd. I'm sure Apple will have some story about it as to why that was their decision. But I don't know if it'll be satisfactory to you because you woke up today and chose violence.
Yeah. That's absolutely correct.
According to the chat. I mean, the chat knows better than I do. The chat knows you better than I do. Let's be honest over here.
They do.
Largest Apple store in South Korea coming soon. Largest in South Korea or the largest ever. Apple has announced that the largest Apple store in South Korea will be opening soon. Specifically, in the capital. The store will be located in the city's historical center of Jonggu. Let's see their announcement here. It's coming soon in the heart of Myeongdong, where people from all over the world continue to visit. They love to be in the tourist spot, like McDonald's or whatever. Like, there's the big Apple logo. Of course they're there because I'm visiting there because I'm a tourist. Through this store, we aim to provide a source of inspiration that is open to all, where imagination and creativity are constantly springing up. A place where you and us can communicate and inspire. They get really vague with it, don't they? A place where your life can be complete so long as you come here and buy things every day.
Inspire.
It's so close, isn't it? The language, it's so close. It's really not that far.
Yeah, it really isn't.
A place where you and us can continue to communicate and inspire each other. Please remember, we inspire each other.
Right.
Remember that. You inspire
You
us.
need me and I need you.
We inspire each other through sales. Every time you buy something, it inspires me to continue selling things to you.
Right.
Imagine that. I'm inspired. So yes, it is a historical area. There's historical buildings over there, traditional markets, upscale retail stores. And so then Apple will fit right in. I wonder if it's going to be a completely modern construction or if there will be some kind of connection to an older building. Is that it? Get out of here.
No.
That's a historical site.
That's
Jeez.
a temple.
Can you imagine? I think that would be very rude. Picture an Apple logo on top of that.
Yeah.
But sometimes they do that, like in London or
Right.
take your pick, where they would have the main floor of a relatively historical building. It would be a very good look, a cool look. I think there's an Apple Store in Grand Central Station in New York too. Like anyway, they've done these type of situations as well. Studio Display runs full version of iOS 15.4. The display.
The display.
In system information under graphics display, the Studio Display software can be seen, showing that it runs version 15.4. The exact same build number as iOS 15.4 and iPad OS 15.4, indicating that the Studio Display runs the full version of iOS. It contains an A13 Bionic chip, the same chip from the iPhone 11 lineup, and then that supports and powers the 12 megapixel front-facing camera, 6-speaker sound system, and spatial. It seems like overkill for that.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe it's part of a long-term plan. Well, maybe it's part of a plan to have a large format, I don't know, like a kitchen display in which it operates like an iPad and you're touching and tapping and it has great speakers on it. And I'm not saying that's going to happen, but once you have an A13 Bionic chip, you can do whatever you want in there.
Yeah.
On iOS.
I guess you add some RAM, some hard drive, and then I want to see some hacks for this. Run iOS on
You want somebody
Mac.
to make a large iPad.
Studio Display, yeah.
Yeah, 27-inch iPad
Yeah.
is what you're looking for. Maybe they can figure out pen input at some point, and now you have something like what Microsoft makes, which is what do they call theirs? Why can't I remember?
Surface
Surface Studio?
Display?
No, it's a different name. I'm talking about the one that has the really cool hinge that folds down. No, not Studio.
It's like a workstation.
Oh, it is. Wait, scroll down. Yeah, Surface Studio. What am I talking about? Yeah. So you could imagine I said it, man. I said it. So you can imagine an Apple version of that running iOS if you want to imagine
Very
such
cool.
things. The current stand is not ideal for it right now for the Studio Display, but they could engineer something that would be suitable. Or you could VESA mount it, although I know Apple lets you do that, but they also love manufacturing ultra expensive display stands.
Right.
I'm sure they could figure it out if that's something that anybody wants. For illustration, it could be cool, Will. For illustration, I mean, those illustration apps on iPad are out of control these days.
Yes. Very good.
Remind me, what's like a prevalent one?
Procreate?
Yeah, Procreate.
That's a good one.
Man, you did really bring it today. I want to know what you did this morning. I want to know how it is that you've pivoted, how it is that you've stayed on top, stayed sharp. Like what does the routine look like?
I don't know. Nothing really.
You were
different.
going to say something there. Don't you dare bail out on me. Don't you dare.
I was thinking about jogging today.
Thinking
but,
about.
Yeah, but I didn't do it.
Even just thinking about.
It's good.
It's
nice.
the placebo effect of imagining
Yeah,
jogging.
I feel so refreshed.
He's going to put the VR headset and it's just someone else jogging.
Yeah. I'm like, feels so good.
And then he goes about his day like as if he did jog,
If he's
but he didn't.
But like the summer's coming, or spring, I guess. I want to run more. So that's pretty much it.
And you know
That's
what?
kind of like a
the
goal.
weather's been nice.
I really like this idea that even for him, even imagining these optimistic goals has already gotten you in a good mood.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Imagine what will
Physical
happen.
activity.
which I don't mind that. Shout out to Logan. AirTags stalking controversy leads Tile to add its own anti-stalking feature. Well, this was the thing when we started talking about this originally. People said, what about Tile? What about Tile? Couldn't they do it to Tile? Tile's been around forever. No one cared when it was Tile. All of a sudden, everybody cares because it's Apple. Well, yeah, you're right. Okay.
But it is a numbers game.
Of course, everybody cares once it's Apple because it affects people differently. It brings it to the limelight. All of a sudden, people are using these tracking devices that otherwise weren't interested in it or interested as much. More people carrying them around. greater awareness within the software, et cetera, all these iPhones that are out in the wild that can now interact with these things natively. AirTag stalking controversy, which forced Apple to beef up protections offered against misuse of the tracking device, has led Tile to follow the Cupertino company's example. Apple built 2 anti-stalking features into AirTags. First, iPhone users will be automatically alerted if an unknown AirTag is moving with them. Second, AirTags will emit a sound if they are separated from their owner for a significant amount of time. This is why Willie Doo found it curious that when he went onto Etsy, he found users selling disabled AirTags with the speaker having been detached internally,
yeah.
the little wires components being removed. The company later created an Android app that allows owners of competing phones to manually search for AirTags. So if you were, I guess, even that is kind of weird. Like, what person is skeptical of having been stalked, and then they're going to open the app on their Android, and they're like, let me just scan.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Let me scan for bugs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know, though. Maybe if you have the obsessed ex-boyfriend.
Oh, you want to be double sure?
You specifically.
Right.
I had Will. He's going. He knew. Will knew what I would.
Yeah.
He knew.
I sensed it.
Anyway,
before you said it.
So you may be skeptical of certain people, relationships, and then you're like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna scan right now because I feel a little off.
Right.
I feel
Something's fishy.
Something's a little off. I just caught this intuition here. So then you can run it, but it's not as good as it being in the background and letting you know. That's obviously way better.
It's like the fact that you have to open the app like every day if you're skeptical
I know.
and just scan.
I know. You become paranoid, just constantly scanning for AirTags. But I don't know. Maybe could law enforcement use it? I mean, I'd be really curious as to who's doing and running these scans. But anyway, Tile has, man, you start seeing these controversies and stories if you're a company like Tile, and you say, oh, we better get ahead of this. So you get the programmers going, and everybody starts, rapidly figuring out how to implement similar things so that they can remain competitive as people start to request these type of features and seeing that AirTags happen to have it. So the scan process doesn't offer a precision finding tool that will allow people to locate a Tile device that's close to them. Instead, Tile notes that users will have to walk or even drive a certain distance away from their original location to work. The full scan can take up to 10 minutes of uninterrupted time to complete and deliver the most accurate results. Tile says it won't work if you're just walking around in your home or in a crowded place like on public transportation where it could detect other tiles nearby. So they have their own version. These are limitations compared to AirTags, but they have something. They have some kind of anti-stalking situation. China says she and Biden's 2-hour call focused on the need for peace in Ukraine. This was the call I was talking about yesterday.
Yeah, they had it last night.
I told you they were going to talk. You were skeptical. I said, no, man, they're going to chat.
I didn't know when.
Yeah, that's all. President Joe Biden spoke to Chinese President Xi Jinping for nearly 2 hours on Friday morning to discuss the Russian invasion of Ukraine. The call was seen as a critical test of whether Biden can convince China to turn down Russian requests for military and economic aid. It was unclear from an initial Chinese government readout of the call whether Biden had succeeded. I mean, even just the two of them talking is like from a symbolic standpoint. Look at the way both of them have both flags.
That's respect.
Also, look at the people watching in the restaurant in the karaoke or whatever it is. That's a big screen in a restaurant in Beijing. They even have the digital drum set up there. I wonder what type of performances happen up. There's a keyboard stand. There's live music happens there.
Yeah, maybe it is a karaoke bar.
Something like that. But I can also see the way the tables are set. I mean, first of all, I'm hungry looking at this. They're sitting in the restaurant. They're watching Biden. You know, they're watching Xi, and they're having a time. Like, let's see what they're saying. So they put it on the big screen like it's a Super Bowl over there. The call was seen as a critical test of whether Biden can convince China to stay on the sidelines of the conflict in Ukraine. According to the readout, yes. The White House has yet to issue a formal readout of the call, but said it began just after 9 a.m. and lasted just shy of 2 hours. It is an unusually long time for a presidential call. Well, these are unusual times that we're living in here. The world is neither peaceful nor tranquil, she reportedly said to Biden, and the Ukraine crisis is not something we want to see. She also reportedly expressed his belief that conflict and confrontation are not in anyone's interest, and peace and security are what the international community should treasure the most. The Chinese summary of the call said she told Biden that the U.S. and China, as permanent members of the UN Security Council and the world's two largest economies, must not only lead the development of China-U.S. relations on the right track, but also shoulder our due international responsibilities and make efforts for world peace and tranquility. Okay, I don't know, Will. I mean, maybe there's code words in here, but I don't know, Will. That sounds pretty straightforward to me. It sounds pretty unanimous to me.
Yeah, that they both want peace.
I don't know what type of code words you're reading in there, if any, but I'm telling you, what did people want from this call that didn't happen there? Did this have the pieces that people wanted? I heard the word peace a number of times. Mm-hmm. Is it shrouded? Is it clouded? Is it foggy?
I hope not.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we need to see. I guess we need to read the readout. We need the readout. The White House hasn't issued their version of it. I guess we need the readout in order for us to make our determination of what's going on here. But yeah, it does seem that both parties are sort of on the same page, at least with that one word peace.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means behind the scenes, but you got flags. You got both flags. Mo's delivering to Popeyes. This is unbelievable. Live studio Popeyes. Never expected to see such a thing. That was incredible. I mean, I knew you were hungry. And but this has gone to another level. We've ordered Tim Hortons in the past, and now we've ordered Popeyes, which is, I don't know, some might consider that an upgrade. Anyways, look, hopefully they keep the dialogue going. Whatever the dialogue is, they keep the dialogue going and figure out a way.
Figure out a way.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Mm-hmm. I'm here.
That's all it took.
Yeah.
Damn, that was easier than I thought it would be. Putin claims he makes, man, that frame down below that you're hitting me with while I'm trying to read this. That is just so, I don't.
It looks unreal.
I need the clapping as well. When the clapping happens, what is this symbolism? What is happening to me? Why does that look so weird to me? You got to go to the beginning when they're clapping.
I think they're going to clap soon.
But it was at the very, wasn't it?
Was that the very beginning?
Oh, or you just so happened on that.
Yeah, he just started off.
All right. Well, I mean, it's I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man. I can't be the only one that feels weird about the way this frame's put together. That one right there. I feel like I'm watching a horror movie. Mm-hmm. What horror movie? I don't know. Like some sort of Lynch. Do you ever watch any of these movies? Mulholland Drive or something? I don't know. Something feels off, but I can't put my finger on it. Anyway, I don't know why they put that State of the Union speech in this article, but the headline is Putin claims he makes $140,000 and has an 800 square foot apartment. This one, I feel like you're okay with this one. You want to take a crack at that one?
Yeah, I've actually been seeing a lot of articles of people trying to figure out where is his wealth. Like a lot of people thought it was with the oligarchs and putting these sanctions would hurt him, but it's not. It's not.
Here's my question for you, Mo. Does Vladimir Putin make $140,000?
I'm going to say no.
That's a no from you.
Yeah, I'm going to say he makes
way
more than that.
Are you disputing what Vladimir Putin says?
I am disputing.
Is that right? Are you lodging an official dispute here?
Yeah, and I don't feel like I'm alone here. I feel like a lot of people think that there's no way the president of that country is making that much and living in an 800 square foot apartment.
How much do you think?
Well, there's other rumors that he's a billionaire as well, right? The way the whole thing's set up. No one will ever know because it's not publicly available information, and it's intentionally not public. It's meant to be a mystery.
But how is there no paper trail?
Crypto. No, I listen. This has been for a while. It's
Absolutely, yeah.
it's a very tight knit kind of controlled environment, and so the flow of information and there's so many factors that go into this. But I mean, he might maybe somewhere, Mo, on some line somewhere it says his salary's $140,000. So somewhere on some line.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of other lines that are missing. So I think
Redacted. Yes, Will.
But the thing is, as you stated earlier, you don't think you're the only one curious about this. And it's probably why we happen to be reading this on Fortune.com. The Kremlin claims Putin earns an annual salary of $140,000. His publicly disclosed assets include an 800 square foot apartment, a trailer, and 3 cars. But according to some experts, he may be the wealthiest man in the world with assets totaling up to $200 billion.
Whoa.
Don't worry about that last part. Well,
Yeah.
don't get yourself...
This is redacted.
Don't get yourself too fired up about that last part. There's really no need for it. It is a ridiculous amount of money, but as they mentioned here, Putin is often seen sporting high-end luxury watches that are retailed for multiple times his supposed income. He owns a $500,000 A. Lang & Son tubograph, as well as other fancy designs. Look at this rumor of a $1.4 billion Black Sea mansion, a 190,000 square foot mansion sitting atop a cliff. Oh my God. That's a lot of money for a mansion. Yeah, well, there's all types of investigations. And I mean, this is what they're doing with the oligarchs right now. They're trying to unravel their wealth, where it all happens to be. And what are they doing? They're freezing assets and jumping on yachts and all the rest of it. But it is it's wild how different the number can be from reality. How different the public-facing, broadcasted figure can be.
Right.
I wonder if people in Russia believe it. 140,000. I'd be curious to know if it's the official number out of the government there. But let's be honest, Mo, because I like to what I like to do.
What's that?
I like to be as comprehensive as possible. I like to zoom out wherever possible. You take President of the United States, and they got a salary. But you want to know what happens when they're done being a president of the United States?
They make the money.
They go give a little talk over here, a little chat over there. They may have business interests and investments in other companies. I don't think you're worried about those guys' finances. Mo, I'm looking at you. I think you might be missing some line items over there.
Could be.
I mean, remember, people wanted Trump's tax returns forever.
Yeah.
What do you think Joe Biden's worth? Let's get a Biden update on this. Let's see.
Idea.
People must have looked into it. I'm looking for a Joe Biden net worth. Now, you don't know. You look at these type of things on the internet. You don't know what you're really seeing over here. But he's got a couple of assets. What do you think? 2 or 3 assets? They say someone said 9 million. He had a net worth of 9 million. Yeah, I'm skeptical. But even 9 million is.
You think it's higher?
Well, I'm saying it's a jump from.
Oh, right. From 140.
Whatever. Yeah. But listen to me. You will know what they want you to know and nothing more. I'm saying everybody's, all this intel and information, and it's across boundaries and borders and so forth. And one hand washes the other, doesn't it, Mo?
Speaking about money.
Mi casa, su casa.
What?
I'm looking at you, Mo.
But why?
If you're a Russian YouTuber, how do you get paid now? Crypto.
Actually?
Yes.
Oh. Willie do.
This was a...
Go ahead, Willie. You know what? I'm going to have one Popeyes. I'm going to give a review right now.
Okay.
You're going to go on this one, and I'm going to have one Popeyes. What is it? A spicy tender?
Chicken tender, yeah.
Okay. It's going to be a review. This one's you. This is all you, Will.
Okay. Don't eat in front of the mic.
No. I moved it.
So this story is about a Russian YouTuber who's living a life in Russia.
I got to interrupt. I apologize. This is insane.
You couldn't.
This is absolutely insane. They gave me Megan Thee Stallion sauce.
Whoa.
Oh, that's because
You should save that. That might be worth $100,000 tomorrow.
$140,000 annually.
Loot.
Pair it up with the
mine.
NFT.
Oh.
That's on your bag by accident.
What?
Are you trying to
I
take,
ordered the sandwich.
Are you trying to take this back right now?
No, I think they gave us 2, right?
Are you trying to take this back right now?
I'm saying we go 50-50. I say you take one of them.
Yo, Mo got
and I
really
take-
serious when he saw me advertise the sauce over here.
What kind of
This
sauce
is
is it?
this is the hottie sauce in bright orange with Aleppo pepper sprinkled throughout. The sauce made with honey, apple cider vinegar was both sweet and I presume spicy. It's a collab. Okay, fine. Whatever, Mo yelling at me over here. So I'm only allowed to have this one, apparently, which
No, I
is
said
sweet
that-
heat. Sure, Mo? I wouldn't want to. You get to review the hottie sauce, all right? So I'll move on to this one. Okay, Will, go back to it.
Yeah, where was I?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
so they're gonna.
So it counts this one YouTuber. His name is Nikki Proshin. He has a
Okay.
YouTube channel, TikTok and Instagram. And even though he gets donations from crypto, he said that it's very hard to convert it into ruble,
Oh, okay. Convert into.
to actually just get groceries or buy food or
Right.
anything. So yeah, crypto, it's not a way to solve everyone's problems based on the account from this guy. So it kind of does, it's kind of unfortunate.
But crypto's in its infancy. I mean, I'm sure they'll figure a way to make it easier to make that transaction.
What else does he say? He's
So-
using a VPN, but doesn't really work.
YouTube's
well.
not paying Russian creators right now. Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
That's why they're making this pivot.
Yeah.
Okay.
He said he's got 10 donations in Bitcoin to this point,
Yeah, which is not a lot, unfortunately.
and it's currently his only method of generating revenue because obviously AdSense has been turned off, right?
Yep.
He got a little bit in Ethereum. What a weird position to be in. I mean, we talked about it with other influencers on Instagram, and it's not just like your direct revenue, but it's also reaching your audience to do anything else, any other type of promotion. You got to believe it's just a terrible time to be stuck in that situation. Russia and Ukraine are both countries where cryptocurrency adoption is relatively widespread, actually. Russia is the third largest miner of Bitcoin. Interesting. The Russian invasion of Ukraine and the international response to it is a real-world test of cryptocurrency's value to ordinary people. Ukrainians have been fundraising in crypto, and almost 100 million has been donated. I mean, it can do it. It can do it, Will. But as you mentioned, getting into crypto, easy. Out of crypto, hard.
There's just no infrastructure there in Russia right
No,
now.
I mean, even for you, into crypto, easy, out of crypto, hard. You get turned into something you can use. Although, as this thing continues, if it does continue, you have to assume that people in Russia will start to adopt this more rapidly and possibly even start to accept it. Merchants and stores and such. If more people are relying on it, then you have to imagine the demand would go up and some stores might start to accept it. I don't know.
And I know crypto is kind of like a safe haven, especially right now in Russia. You can put money in there just in hopes that the ruble
Bounces back.
bounces back eventually and then they could convert it back. But
Right.
right now, since it's stuck in crypto, you can't really spend it.
I think that places might start accepting crypto.
I hope so.
With the inflation and stuff
Just
going on.
basic grocery stores. or something.
They might. Somebody in the chat was like, "What are you talking about? Isn't that like $410,000?" No, 10 donations in Bitcoin, not 10 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
10 Bitcoin, you'd be celebrating right now, actually.
Yeah. So good luck to this guy and many other influencers, creators in Russia.
YouTubers,
YouTubers.
fellow tubers. Okay, so I had a bite of the spicy
Oh yes,
Chicken
Get a
tender.
review.
Okay.
I
What a
almost forgot.
segue.
It was a bite. I did not touch your precious Megan. I didn't touch Megan, a stallion sauce. But I did have the sweet heat.
Yes. Okay, tell me.
And I don't actually feel that I need any Megan sauce after that. I'm all sorted out.
Wow, it's that good.
I just said I'm sorted out. I'm glad that the tender is spicy. And it was the batter to chicken ratio I was satisfied.
Wow.
A little bite to it, a little sweet, a little heat.
Popeye's got a formula down.
So, that's that concludes.
Okay.
That concludes my reaction.
Good.
Burger King franchise refuses to close 800 Russian restaurants. Okay, this is like a complicated situation. It's like
They can't just close their doors, apparently.
Yeah, it's like the company responsible for the Burger King brand over there can kind of make its own rules. And I read a tiny bit on this, but it's not that simple. Burger King trying to suspend operations in Russia, but that's proving difficult. A business partner controlling 800 restaurants has refused to close them, the company said. Well, why don't you tell us who the partner is? The burger chain owned by Restaurant Brands International has a joint venture partnership with businessman, there he is, Alexander Kolobov in Russia. Well, there you go. RBI controls just 15% of its Russian Burger King businesses, and Kolobov is responsible for the day-to-day operations and oversight. That means Burger King can't just snap its fingers and close up shop. We started the process to dispose of our ownership stake in the business, said David Shear, president of RBI's international operations, in an open letter. While we would like to do this immediately, it is clear that it will take some time to do so based on the terms of our existing joint venture agreement. So basically, we want to shut it down. We promise. We saw what McDonald's did. We want to do it too. We're Burger King. No war. No war for Burger King. We want out. We're going out. And in the case of McDonald's, they go, well, we're going to nationalize it. We'll figure out a way for McDonald's to hang around. They're saying, hey, we got a joint venture. You just run it. Just let us go. Let's get out of here. I don't know what that guy would do. I mean, I guess he would do the same thing they did with McDonald's, change the name, change the brand a little bit,
Right.
and continue forward. But it's proven difficult to come to terms, I suppose.
I'm curious about these fast food chains, specifically McDonald's and Burger King. If on the other side, non-Russian, if they can't send over beef patties or fries or anything, like the ingredients to make Burger King meals, right?
They have to source their own ingredients.
They would.
You're talking about sanctions.
Yeah, because of the sanctions.
Yeah, no, it's got to be a nightmare right
So
now.
at a certain point, wouldn't they just have no more ingredients, and then they would have to make up?
Well,
food?
in this case, since you have a joint venture, you have to assume that
There are deals in place.
Kolobov is currently working on figuring out how to get these ingredients
But
locally
McDonald's
sourced.
McDonald's case is they're out, but
Well, McDonald's is out. They were going to have the doors closed and have the restaurants frozen. That was their solution, because you're right about everything you just said, sanctions and such. But then it was the Russian government that said, we don't like the look of that. Right. Why don't we nationalize these things? People like this thing. And then that's when their own version thing comes up. And the difference with Burger King is, since it's a joint venture, I would suppose it's already just happening. And the doors don't have to close. They can kind of almost do these alterations in real time.
Yeah.
The real problem or question here is whether Burger King itself gets anything out of it, even though this Kolobov apparently owns 15% of it, but is actually responsible for day-to-day. How does Burger King get its 85% out?
Right.
Good luck. I don't know.
Yeah, it's difficult. I also imagine that their business may have went up ever since the McDonald's closing.
Oh, interesting take.
Don't you think so?
Hot
true.
take. Spicy take.
So
Burger King's crushing it in the absence of McDonald's, and everyone hasn't moved over to Uncle Vanya's yet.
maybe not just yet. Uncle Vanya's is still so funny.
Hey, Will, we have any commercial breaks to take? Let's take one right now. We'll be right back. We have plenty of other amazing stories submitted by both Will and Mo today. coming up very shortly. Don't go anywhere. Today's sponsor, ExpressVPN. Go further with the #1 trusted leader in VPN. I trust Express. I use Express, so that means I trust. I go on, I log on, I pick a location other than my current location, and then I suck in all the wonderful content. I absorb it like a dirty sponge.
Oh.
You didn't expect me to go there. So you got the security element, right? Obviously. You go, man, VPNs right now with everything going on in the world, it's a hot topic, the VPN topic. The ability to kind of control your own internet destiny. One click to a safer internet. They have locations all over the place. You pick your country, 160 locations in 94 countries. Unlimited bandwidth, plenty of speed for all your streaming and your Netflix and such. Available as a browser extension for Chrome, Firefox, and Edge. And then there's apps for any device you have, Windows, Mac, Linux, iOS, Android, or you can install it directly on your router. So everything that connects to your router connects through here. As mentioned, you can protect yourself, but you can also unlock regional content because it's all types of regional deals these days. It's like, oh, it's the hot show, but it's only on this streaming platform in this country, and it's difficult to keep it all together. You don't need to worry about it with a premium VPN. You don't need to worry about it with ExpressVPN.
Every time you connect to ExpressVPN, you get a random IP address shared by many other ExpressVPN customers. That makes it harder for third parties to identify you or harvest your data. Visit expressvpn.com/LouLater and get 3 extra months for free. That's expressvpn.com/LouLater. Go to expressvpn.com/LouLater to learn more.
Also sponsored by Masterworks, and you're invited to join an exclusive community investing in art. I'm looking at you, Will, can invest in multi-million-dollar paintings. What? A guy like Willie do? What are you, crazy? Yeah. Banksy. Look at the net return. 32%. 100 plus total offerings. It's like a share. It's like you're investing like as if you would have a share, except it's in fine art. Limited, inherently limited. Talking about limited things. Talking about scarcity. You can have a peek over here. It's a whole new concept, really. 4,234 artworks offered to the group. Artworks purchased, 101. So it's not just like a bunch of random stuff. It's stuff that has a history of a particular price. The research team uses proprietary data to determine which artist markets have the most momentum. Momentum's important. You can get in over here and then on a piece of art that's a rocket ship art. And it's physical. It's a really interesting model, and it will allow you to invest in art that would be, I mean, previously this would just be an impossibility for most people at these types of prices, the types of prices associated with very rare art pieces. You got to check it out. It's Masterworks. Just check out the Banksy stuff if you want.
Yeah. Masterworks enables you to buy shares that represent an investment in art right from your couch. Because fine art has outpaced the S&P 500 by 164% from 95 to 2021. Their team of art experts analyzed over 60,000 data points to find trending artists with high potential for growth. Getting started with Masterworks is super easy. It takes just a few clicks. You visit their website, create an account, browse their artwork, and you can diversify your portfolio with one of the most stable assets around. You can gain priority access by clicking our link in the description, and it supports the channel, so go check it out. Head to masterworks.io to check out Masterworks. And we're back.
Hey, thank you very much for that break, folks. Thank you for dealing with us. Oh, you probably noticed that there's little musical chairs going on. Mo has completely dove into his chicken sandwich. I didn't know it was a thing you could dive into, but that is what he has done. So he's vacated his seat, and as soon as he moved down ever so slightly, Jack noticed when he said, you know what? That seat looks just about right for me. Yeah. And he said, what do we got? Topics here? He said, ain't no topic I back down from. And I said, Jack, since when are you Clint Eastwood? That's what I said. And, well, that brings us to this moment right now. So everyone say hi to Jack, basically.
Hello, everyone.
There you go. And Jack says hi back.
Happy Friday.
You're a busy guy, right?
Yeah.
Like you've had, like I got a busy day. I can't do this or that. I got lots of calls. Is that what it's been today?
Yeah, it's a usual busy day around here.
I believe him.
I'd say it's the norm.
But he wanted to join because he thinks it's fun here.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a nice break. This is a nice break.
Little break. Lovely. Well, I'm happy that I'm happy to have you. I'm happy that you're back. It's been a long time since you've been on the show. Mm-hmm. And it offers a little change of pace.
Yeah.
Because Mo, he has his viewpoints. Mm-hmm. And
very far right, I hear.
They're pretty stringent. Whatever they are, they're stringent.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Extreme.
I would call him an extreme...
extremist.
Well, I didn't say that.
Oh, sorry.
Unprecedented cyber attacks are crippling Russian government websites. The Russian ministry says it's facing an unprecedented assault by foreign hackers. Well, I believe that. I mean, Anonymous, or at least whatever Anonymous is at this point, has claimed that they're busy attacking.
Yeah, we hear a lot about the physical war, but we don't hear much about the IT war, the digital war.
Talking about cyber?
Cyber war. There you go.
The war of the future.
Cyber attacks. Ever since launching a horrific assault on Ukraine, things haven't been going particularly well for Russia. The country and its invading horde have been condemned, blacklisted, thwacked by crippling sanctions, droned, blocked, among other things.
Yeah.
But here we go as far as the cyber attacks concerned. In addition to denial of service attacks that have knocked websites offline, many hackers are trolling the Russian government quite hard. In one case, someone defaced the Russian Emergency Situations Ministry, inscribing "Don't believe Russian media, they lie" on its homepage, while inserting a link to what the hacker dubbed full information about the war in Ukraine. The Washington Post reports. At the same time, dozens of Russian judicial websites have reportedly been defaced with messages insulting Russian President Vladimir Putin. And then we talked about when they did the electric chargers. It says something negative about Putin on there. Can't even remember what it was.
He's
I actually don't remember what it was.
Putin is a dickhead?
Well done, Willie.
It doesn't seem that bad to me. Like if you're just gonna write like profanities about somebody, like that's your hack. Like,
well, I think the important part to note there is that doesn't happen that often.
right,
People saying things like that, dissent.
especially to Putin.
Exactly. So I think the idea of it from a hacking standpoint is that you would showcase at least the initial thought that, hey, maybe this guy is not. Maybe you shouldn't like this guy.
Right.
Just to get the ball rolling on that. But you're right. I mean, if you can provide a link to what's actually going on in Ukraine or something that's not being seen on media or whatever, that's going to be more effective. But some of these things that they're hacking have their limitations as to what you can even display, like the screen and a gas pump or
Right. Right.
electric charger or something like that. The Wall Street Journal recently claimed that the number of people involved in these cyber attacks could reach 400,000 or more. My God.
Yeah.
That's a lot of, that's probably an international, well, they call it an IT army.
Mm-hmm.
That's an international endeavor at that point. And increasingly, I think we're going to continue to see this. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. more cyber. Penn swimmer Lia Thomas becomes first trans woman to win NCAA swimming championship. Very controversial subject. I know records had been broken or were being broken. This, of course, university level, very high level NCAA. But now we have an actual trophy. We have an actual NCAA championship going on.
Wait, did you say Lia Thompson?
Thomas.
Thomas.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Thomas.
I said Thompson before.
I don't know. Maybe I did.
Okay.
But it is Thomas.
It's Thomas.
Thomas began transitioning in 2019 with hormone therapy and followed NCAA and Ivy League rules. However, she faced scrutiny inside and outside the sport about if transgender women and girls should be allowed to participate in female sports. Now, there's something in this article, or maybe I saw it in a different article, but it talks about the ranking of this individual prior to transitioning. And, oh yeah, there it is. Okay. Biologically, Lia holds an unfair advantage over competition. This was a petition submitted to the school or to the NCAA that was then obtained by the Washington Post. And this was written, I believe, by other swimmers. Scroll up just a little bit so I get this right. Some of her teammates sent a letter to the school and Ivy League stating that she should not be allowed to compete. And then part of this letter was obtained by the Wall Street Journal. And this is the quote from the letter. Biologically, Lia holds an unfair advantage over competition in the women's category, as evidenced by her rankings that have bounced from 462 as a male to number 1 as a female. So to be clear and to be fair.
Please be clear, yeah.
When you're at that level, NCAA level, 462 is still a hell of an athlete.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. But I don't think there's a person in this room or in this broadcast right now that's going to confuse number 462 with number 1. Number 1's a big difference to come in and dominate to that extent. And let me just lay things out for you. One side of the spectrum, you have letters like that saying, hey, this is, we don't want this to happen. We think that this is unfair. Other end of the spectrum, you have celebration. That, hey, here's a thing that's never happened before. Here is, I don't know. To some individuals, here's progress. I'm laying the land for you.
Yeah.
I'm letting you know what's going on out there. We were searching previously for interviews, and this was interesting to me. We were looking for interviews of Lia Thomas, and it's obvious to me as I look at some of these comment sections, as I look at some of these dislike ratios, that this is a divisive topic, that we have found a certain threshold that people have for their tolerance, I suppose, support, whatever way it is that you want to describe it. Here we have a swam interview. Penn's Lia Thomas opens up on journey, transition to women's swimming, and of course, Will still has the like to dislike ratio enabled.
So useful.
Of course, Will does.
You would want to know.
What we see here is 379 thumbs up and 7,800 thumbs down. And the interview, Lia just basically describes this process of hormone treatment. And you have these hormones there. They aim to knock out the testosterone. You wouldn't know anything about that, Jack.
No, I don't have any of that.
Knock out the testosterone and sort of help in the transition from a physical standpoint. And then you have conversations around athletics specifically, which is really what this is about. This is really the creation of these headlines is the key part here is that not just that Lia Thomas won, but that everybody else lost. I know that's where your head went right away.
Yeah. Is it on me now?
No, it doesn't have to be on
I have to
you.
go to the wash.
No, it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be on you.
No. Listen.
You're taking the. You take that baton. I'll pass you the baton if you like. I have more to say too, but you can have that right now.
Yeah. Well. Just prefacing, I'm totally on board with people, having the right to be who they want to be and feel who they want to
feel. Who they want to feel.
Yes, and
you go out there and you feel who you want to feel.
Feel who you want to feel, and all the power to them. My only sympathy does come with the competing athletes here who have trained their whole lives, and now are kind of thrust into this political back and forth that they never really asked for. And, I just am sympathetic to them and how now they have to kind of be in the situation. And then it kind of takes away from their own, I guess, journeys as well as athletes and swimmers.
This is a slippery subject right here. Mm-hmm. Very slippery subject. Men and women typically don't compete, not in many sports, not at the professional level. It just doesn't happen, right? Mm-hmm. And I think we're all fairly aware of why that's the case, right? Now, what comes into question here is when this transition begins to occur, to what extent can these perceived potential advantages, to what extent can they be nullified with some form of treatment? Because this has been talked about beyond swimming. Get rid of the testosterone, increase the estrogen, start to be further along that transition. Probably not in this case eliminate all advantages.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a situation in which, if this happened at an earlier point, that maybe some of those biological elements that happen along the way may not have occurred in the fashion that they did occur? Mm-hmm. And this gets into a whole, I said it was slippery before, it gets into a whole other slippery thing of how you draw this rule book that you are proposing here. How you draw it up. What are the parameters? I mean, in fighting, you have weight classes.
Yeah.
In sports, you have what do you have? You have age brackets. I remember something interesting happened. Obviously, I've talked on this show how I play hockey. One lesser known story about me is that one year I played football.
Wow.
It's a lesser known story.
Whoa.
What position?
I played tight end. Absolutely terrible.
You were terrible.
Well, our whole team. I don't know. I don't know if I was more or less terrible than everyone else.
Remind me, tight end. What is that exactly?
Well, you typically will line up along with the offensive line, like to the end of over there. You don't have to.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, I know tight end. Yeah,
yeah.
You're with the short passes and.
Yeah, typically you're
a blocker also.
Yeah, you're
utility guy, a bit of everything.
Bit of everything. Now, on some teams, they play a significant role on the offense, and other teams, they're, as you mentioned, more required on the blocking side. It depends on, the hands of the individual. They can be a very deceptive player.
Yeah,
but you're not.
But a good tight end will be the difference. I find. Like I was just looking at a list of those tight ends there, and those are all the best players on their team.
A lot of key. I don't know why the hell they put me there. I think it was just like size. A lot of it in football has to do like whoever plays left tackle. You can probably guess what he weighs.
Yeah,
I mean it's just a biological. You need a large person there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I think we're embarrassing ourselves with the knowledge of football. Or
Absolutely.
At least I am.
It's not important, though.
Yeah, anyway, go on.
It's not important in this story. Mm-hmm. Here's the important part of the story, because it was my first experience with such a thing like this. I was late to sign up to the team. And I had to go register with a group of individuals who they hadn't missed registration like me, but actually something strange had happened. That when they went for the initial registration, they were too heavy. And because football was such a contact sport, rather than do it like we would do it with hockey or any other sport by age, they did it by size. So if you were an enormous person at the age of, I don't know, 12, you wouldn't be absolutely
crushing,
just rolling over. Now, you could make an argument in this case that, well, hey, it's not that person's fault. They're a giant 12-year-old. They should have the opportunity to play with 12-years and dominate. But then somebody else would have the viewpoint that, well, no, physically we want to match these groups up, and generally there's not that many outliers, so it's not that many kids that can be displaced elsewhere. But of course, what ended up happening, just like fighting, is kids wanted to play in the lowest weight bracket they could,
right,
to have those advantages of being physically larger. Now I'm using physically larger as one potential advantage, one potential biological attribute that gives you an advantage. And you're a fight fan. You see it happen all the time.
Yeah.
Guys try to push the weight cut to get the slimmest advantage, because guess what sports are? Competition. And you want to do everything in your power to get a slight edge. I mean, you'll take an enormous one, but at the highest level, and as you continue to go higher up, every little tiny advantage matters.
Yeah.
So what happens is I'm in this car to go to this registration, and I'm with all the kids who never made the initial weight.
The fatties. Right? Sorry.
He worked so hard.
The big boned.
He worked so hard.
Listen, in football, that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Be a hell of a
He
blogger.
worked so hard.
Yeah.
He worked so hard. Yes. And it's a hot day. We're going down there in the summer. And I'm in a minivan with the guy who's the coach of the team. He's taking the group of us down. He's like, great, you're signing up. I'm sitting in the very back. Before we get into the car, they take each one of these kids that missed weight and they wrap them in garbage bags. It's hot. It's the summer. They wrap them in garbage bags, stick them in the minivan, and crank the heat.
Wow.
They turn that thing into a sauna. And I got to go to Burlington for this weigh-in. It's the most miserable car ride of my entire life. The hottest day. I thought I was going to pass out. I was like, I'm not playing this. I'm not doing this. This was the worst decision of my life.
How much did you have to sweat?
I didn't know. No one told me that in registering for the thing, like they just said, oh, we got a ride for you. They never said this is going to be the sauna box minivan of doom.
How much weight were they hoping they were going to lose on that car ride? Like, how much can you actually lose?
Well, it's exactly like MMA. They really are only like a pound or two off.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to get below it. Let me tell you what happened. Not a single one of them made the weight cut.
Yeah.
All of those kids had to go up to the next bracket and be the smallest players at the higher bracket, which is what they didn't want to do. Yeah. And then I was no problem making it in. I wasn't that heavy. Competition, physical competition, is a very strange spectrum, and it's really important. You know, it's really it matters a lot to people. It can be a major character builder for people. It can be a life's work for people, and so it's understandable that there's sensitivities around this subject, and it's understandable that opinions are split, and it's understandable that some people are upset, and I think. And I understand that. That's what I understand.
Yeah. Well, I saw on Impulsive that Dana White was on there recently, and they asked him about this story. And they asked him about if he would ever accept transgender athletes in the MMA and UFC. And he said it did happen once where somebody that was born biologically male, transitioned, and then fought with females and was winning until all of a sudden one day she got beat up by another female. And I guess that kind of throws in the face this whole advantage. Like, obviously there is an advantage, but don't put it past them getting beaten. Like, don't put it past, somebody beating her in a race.
Amanda Nunes is putting you out, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Put
dispute.
me out.
Oh, you're done.
You think so?
You're cooked, brother.
Inside one?
Oh my, 10 seconds. Yeah, you're gone. You're running out the cage. Let's be honest.
She'd fold me into a pretzel.
In your little Speedo. No, absolutely. Like that's why I said it was important to say when I was looking at the statistics, it was important for me to say 432 to 1. Like the individual was already a good swimmer, all right, at the NCAA level.
So you're saying I'd get beaten up by her?
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
I know I would, 100% I would.
Yeah, so it all depends, but what we're really talking about, Jack, is at the competitive level.
Yeah.
At the highest level. So that means Nunes versus John Jones or something.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a problem.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Sweet. Tesla maintains massive lead in U.S. electric car sales. Compelling competition is coming, but Tesla is simply growing too fast. Tesla is growing very fast. It's unbelievable what's going on.
Yeah, we kind of know this already, but to kind of see the graphs.
Oh my God. U.S. electric registrations by make and share. Tesla is 70%. What?
At least for now.
Is this U.S. numbers?
Yes.
70% of new electric vehicle registrations are Tesla. It's such a huge head start. Nissan comes in at 8.5, Chevrolet 7.15, Ford 2.31. That's going to change with the Lightning, obviously. Volkswagen 2.19, Audi comes next. At the bottom, GMC with 0, Scion 0, Lucid 0.01. Wow, to showcase how few units they've shipped. Rivian 0.05%. I mean, these will change as they figure out production, but that is some hot demand. Interestingly, Tesla leads in every single state except Alaska. As you can see, they're beaten by Nissan there. I presume that's the Leaf, which is a more affordable electric car than what Tesla's selling. Don't know why that's super prevalent in Alaska. But yes, they have a massive head start and advantage as a consequence. These are still emerging technologies. And so the fact that Tesla's been doing it for as long as they have, the fact that they have the head start with the superchargers, the fact that they're not on Gen 1 or 2, the fact that Elon has become such a important figure, culturally speaking, and keeps the brand elevated and in the public consciousness. How about this? How about the fact that the product is good? Will, how about that fact?
Yeah.
The product is good. I mean, you might have your nitpicks. You might have your tidbits and your nitpicks.
Your panel gaps.
Yeah, you might have them.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, when you're on the highway and you hit the button and the thing starts taking care of you, tell you what, it's an experience. And when you slam the accelerator and you're gone like Star Wars, you're gone like Han Solo,
Yes.
you might sell some cars.
I feel like for the average car person that doesn't know a ton about cars, if they're going to look at electric vehicles, I think a lot of them assume that Tesla is really the only option. So they don't even look into options from BMW or Volvo.
Yeah. Which is why those companies spent so much money at Super Bowl showing their electric cars.
Yeah. I think there was 6 or 7 commercials of electric cars or something.
Yeah, they had to let people know, hey, we do that too. Hey, over here.
But for years, it was like, oh, you want an electric vehicle? Tesla, you have to get a Tesla.
Even now, so.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Well, that feeling, I think, is still there. Like him. He's like, if I get he thinks he has to get a Tesla if he gets an electric vehicle. But he decided to go the other way and get the Bronco because it sort of represents who he wants to be.
The gas guzzling.
The gas guzzler. Yeah.
Yeah.
Monolith.
Well, it's just like the way he's gonna when it shows up, he's gonna reenact the Logan Paul photo.
Right.
Have you seen it?
No.
Show the Logan Paul Bronco photo. Will's gonna do the exact same. Will and Mo are gonna put this together.
Oh, nice.
It's the exact same, except it'll be Will instead of Logan Paul. It'll be Otis instead of that dog.
That's cool.
And we're gonna get Will the red sneakers and everything.
Okay.
Get him an unbox therapy sweater.
Well, he had some other idea. Can you remind me what it was?
Drain plug. We should do drain plugs.
It's a drain plug merch.
Yeah, we were deciding on what to wear.
You don't know why
Like
he
what I
likes.
would say.
Have you heard yet why he likes the Bronco? It's not the reason you think.
I haven't.
It's the drain plugs.
Oh.
Drain plugs.
So if the car gets dirty, you can just hose it down on the inside.
Exactly.
Wow.
The seats are vinyl as well. Just hose everything down. And you have Casper.
Yeah. Well, my
Marissa.
car's a
dogs.
hairy mess. The other day when I had my windows down for the first time all winter, it was just white hairs floating around.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is disgusting.
Yeah. I'm just not a fan of upholstery.
Yeah.
The corners of you know,
It
when
gets
it's caked
gross.
with salt.
Yep. Yeah.
It's a huge topic.
a whole
Mo brought it up today. He says, when you guys get the hell out of here, I'm pulling my car right in here, and I'm going to get down to cleaning it. That's what he said.
Yeah. I know. I heard that. Yeah.
He said, he goes, I left Kovu at home today, and it's time to get down to business because that maniac's not here. Either that or it had something to do with the dog taco yesterday, which turned into, how long is the clip, Will? That's an epic one.
Yeah.
an
It was
epic-
like a good 10 minutes or
It's an epic story. It's unbelievable. All right. So what is this? U.S. electric registrations by state share. California, big time. Wow, 35% of all car registrations are electric in California. That's big time. Florida. So the warmer states, to a certain extent, Texas is. A
I
little
guess
higher
the
too, I'd say.
infrastructure is good there too.
Talking about
Charging
supercharging?
stations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look
look.
at Wyoming, 0.0.
Yeah, and North Dakota, 0.0. South Dakota, 0.0. Wisconsin, 0.6. New York, 4.6. Yeah. Florida, Texas, California, electric cars.
Southern states.
And California, big time. Big time. Oh, Alaska, 0.1 as well.
You know what you should do with your Bronco is go on a high-speed police chase down the highway.
Should I?
Just bring back, because that's what Broncos are. That's what put Broncos on the map. Remember?
That's actually right before they got discontinued
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think they wanted the distance.
yeah.
I bring that back immediately.
Yeah, like
once I
bring-
get my Bronco.
Because they were huge. Everyone had one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there's other reasons why it went off the market. I don't know what the reason was, but they're definitely really popular right now.
Yeah.
And this guy, how long have you been on this process for?
Couple months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's been out of control with it. I can barely get a word in.
Yeah. Big fan.
Tesla Model S Plaid shatters yet another Porsche Taycan record. Say what you want about Tesla, but there's no denying the Model S Plaid is an incredible car. The brand's first ever tri-motor vehicle boasts a heady 1020 horsepower, 1,020 horsepower. Yeah, you're going to 60 in less than 2 seconds. It's a real experience. It'll whip you around. Everybody here did that launch or no? Did you do that?
Yeah, I did it. Yeah. We almost died, remember?
Well, easy. Maybe that was the time. Maybe that was you two launching.
Almost hit that poor old lady on the side of the road.
Maybe that was you two launching. I think you got the wrong guy. It could have been. Maybe it was Will driving. Will might be driving like that.
Yeah.
Who knows? So anyway, what happened here? What record did they beat? Oh, a track record. Is that it? Set a lap record for the fastest EV ever at Virginia International Raceway, covering the 4.1 mile distance in an astonishing 2 hours, 50 minutes, 4.5 seconds quicker than the previous record holder, which was a Porsche Taycan Turbo S. 4 seconds faster for a lap.
Wait, 2 hours?
Or
No,
2
2
minutes.
minutes.
Did I say 2 hours? 2
Yeah.
minutes. 2 minutes, 50 seconds. I might have said 2 hours.
That's fast. So what are you going that whole time? How fast are you going?
I don't know if it says what the top speed was. Sometimes they do when you have a lap. Oh, go up. That might say it. Scroll up. No, it said the this one.
Image?
Yeah. Nope. Doesn't say. Can't see. I mean, we're talking about a race car track.
Yeah,
Here.
it's
So you
going
got to
fast.
assume you're.
Just under 160.
There you go. At one part of the video, the Tesla's electric motors propel the heavy EV to just under 160 miles per hour. The Plaid's lap time is very impressive, but then again, we know what the powerful Tesla can achieve. Well, it's important to note, looks like a relatively normal sedan, but it just definitely isn't. Doesn't have a normal price tag either. It's completely unnecessary. Acceleration. Completely fun, though.
Yeah, congrats.
Completely unnecessary, completely fun. MIT's robotic cheetah taught itself how to run and set a new speed record in the process. How does it teach itself to run? AI-powered simulations let the robot learn all by itself.
I mean, could they teach it to stop too, or just ran right into the wall?
No, that's version 2.
Well, I think it has to teach itself, right? It probably has to hammer the wall.
How many times does it have to hammer it
Well,
before it
a
learns?
number of times. How many times you fall on your head there?
Fair enough. A few times. I still am.
Oh man, yeah.
So instead of having humans program it, they're just using algorithm, machine learning
Yeah.
for each iteration to get better and better. In this clip, it shows just kind of human programming versus actually learning. Yeah, the dog is kind of
Cheetah.
spazzing. Cheetah. But yeah, in this case, it figured itself out
Like a
and
baby.
learned how to
Like a
go up.
baby.
Something unsettling about that footage.
imagine it's chasing you.
Well, let
This
me
like
tell
twitching cheetah.
you realize the robots teach themselves, right? You realize what that means.
Terminator.
Mo just shouted, Terminator. It didn't sound very scary. It sounded like a party or something.
Yeah.
Terminator.
Terminator.
It's the trailer for Terminator. Who is it? Terminator.
Here. Knock, knock.
It's really scary.
I'm back.
The mini cheetah might not necessarily be able to recognize that it's loose gravel that constantly causes it to lose its footing, or ice that's making its feet slip, but by constantly monitoring its movements, it can tell when it's not walking as effectively as it could, and based on what its legs are doing, it can now adapt their movements to ensure it keeps moving forward. Those adaptations can even compensate for how the robot's components are performing or underperforming as a result of damage or being overstressed. Yeah, the robots, they teach themselves. They got the AI. They end up learning faster than, the human creature.
Yeah.
And they end up doing everything better. And then you know what they end up doing? They end up winning the setting records at the swim at the pool.
Yeah, they'll join the.
They end up setting
race,
records
yeah.
at the pool, Jack.
Yeah, because the scary part with the Terminator was that they became self-aware. They became so smart that they were like, "Wow, I am
That's
a
right.
living being.
Yeah.
Why am I taking orders from these humans? I'm gonna go join this race and fucking demolish them all.
Don't know anything.
Look how slow they are at swimming."
What did Arnold say about it?
Yeah.
What did he do?
We put an end to it. Wait, which Arnold? From 1 or 2? Because he was bad at 1.
Spoiler. Spoiler. Terminator. The man behind Ethereum is worried about crypto's future. That's that guy, Vitalik.
Yeah.
He's coming on the show one day. I don't know if you knew that. I actually DM'd him earlier. Well,
Really?
no. He's not a big NFT. You're gonna definitely connect on that.
He doesn't like.
No, he's a big NFT, but not what's going on right now. At
Yes.
least if you listen to this language, it sounds a lot like Willy Do language. So there's one section that I want to highlight. I mean, they talked about crypto, they talked about money laundering, they talked about all kinds of problems. in this particular interview. It's crazy. He's 28 years old. He's from around the corner. Got all this. He's carrying all this Ethereum on his back, crypto on his back. I don't know. Is there a more important personality in crypto right now? Will he do?
Elon?
Damn. Well, that's
He
not really
moves markets.
It's not really fair though, because he's not actively working in crypto.
Right. Sure. Yeah.
Okay, we agree. Sweet. Yeah. So anyway, scroll down a little bit further. This is the cover, the Time cover. The Prince of Crypto has concerns. I like how direct that headline is. But the portion I want to look at is the part that's really going to matter to you, Will. A little bit further down. There you go, right there. Buterin worries about the dangers to overeager investors, the soaring transaction fees, and the shameless displays of wealth that have come to dominate public perception of crypto. The peril is, and this is his quote, the peril is you have these $3 million monkeys, and it becomes a different kind of gambling, he says, referring to the Bored Ape Yacht Club, an uber-popular NFT collection of garish primate cartoons that has become a digital age status symbol for millionaires, including Jimmy Fallon and Paris Hilton, and which have traded for more than $1 million a pop. Another quote from Vitalik, there definitely are lots of people that are just buying yachts and Lambos in the crypto equivalent. He got you, Will. You're a Vitalik guy. Look at you. You read, you like.
I support this.
You read,
I think it's
you like.
I think a lot of people would support this.
Or at least feel this way. That,
Yes.
like, wait a sec. No, hey, man. I saw even Snoop Dogg, who's getting into the NFTs with the Death Row. I even saw in his post, he's like, we're taking it back. We own the record label. We're doing the NFT. I think it's always the hashtag. It's like Death Row NFT. And I read the comments, and a lot of people are like, no, thank you. Enough NFT. Leave me alone. So I feel there is a little bit of resistance. It's not an all or nothing situation. And people ask me about this stuff. And then, do I need to be here in one way or another? And I'm like, listen, it's like a lot of other emerging things. 98% of it sucks and 2% of it might be cool and end up being something. So it's important not to overestimate. You may want to be a part of it, but recognize that there's tons of risk involved still. And if you were curious what Vitalik thought of the variety of apes that are out there, now you know.
Yeah, just getting rich quick as well.
Now you know. I mean, he even
And
says a different kind of gambling, and COVID sort of just contributed to a lot of this. I mean, the gambling sites went out of control on the sports side. All of a sudden, tons. I mean, there's just so many people, so much interest. Crypto was like that. Mo starts investing. You go through the ups and downs of crypto NFT romance. You go from the honeymoon phase to practically divorce.
Well, the thing is, it's like this is a new technology, and I would like to learn about it. I don't want to be left in the dust. And I think it's important to at least know.
You want to know something?
What?
You're never going to be left in the dust, will you? Do?
Okay, I hope not.
It's impossible.
Okay.
I'm definitely in the dust when it comes to this stuff.
Okay.
Well, that's true. See you later, Jack.
I'm buried deep in the dust.
Yeah. In that dusty car of yours with little white hairs floating around.
That's me.
That's Jack
That's
on the
my
highway.
NFT.
That's Jack on the highway floating hairs.
But I guess in order to experiment, there is a certain risk level
Always.
that you're willing to take.
Early adopter.
Sometimes it doesn't pay off. You know, you just learn your lesson. That's it.
Yeah. Keanu Reeves' motorcycle company Arch floats idea of building an electric motorcycle. I didn't even know he had a I know he likes motorcycles.
Oh, really?
I didn't know he had a motorcycle company. I knew he liked motorcycles.
Oh,
Did we
yeah,
cover
he
this
does.
before? Should I have known this? Maybe we did.
I don't know. I thought you would.
Maybe I did know about this. My bad. Yeah. I mean, he's really into the motorcycle.
Yes.
He should totally do an electric one. Absolutely. They're cool looking as well.
They're very cool.
They're cool looking as well. They'd have to be. Arch Motorcycle Company, founded by Keanu Reeves and Gard Hollinger, is known for its bespoke sport cruiser motorcycle production. You know who could go on one? You know who could be on one of these is Mo. Mo could be on one of these. Like this. Look at this. He just shows up. He's coming down to 400 like that.
No helmet.
Is
got that-
Kovu on the bike too?
Yeah, with the goggles on.
Yeah.
And Mo has the leather jacket and whatnot. I mean, out of all of us, no? Who's the most likely to show up here on a motorcycle out of all of us? Sure. Who? Vin? No, 0% chance. 0% chance, Vin. He's safety all the way. Who's the most likely? It's either Mo or Kirk.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Kirk.
You go Kirk?
He likes the thrill.
You go Kirk?
He
I go
does
Mo.
biking, too.
I go Mo just because Mo's got the age gap.
Oh, okay.
He's
Right.
he's a little less responsible at that age bracket.
The mortality hasn't hit him yet.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, in a recent interview shown in a video posted on Arch's site, shout out Kishore, by the way, Hollinger and Reeves sat down to discuss the future of the company, and after a decade of building purely internal combustion-powered vehicles, the pair seem open to the idea of exploring electric models in their future. Well, electric, you could imagine similar advantages with the motorcycle from the car. I mean, this thing's going to explode, man. It's going to be so quick, instant power, recharge. I mean, your batteries can be a little bit smaller, weight and things. It would present a kind of like a fun task, would it not? Mm-hmm. And look at Keanu. He's looking great, isn't he? He's in his element here with the motorcycles. Mm-hmm. He's in his element.
The long
Kind of
hair.
looks like McKinnon there.
I think he's very comfortable right now and right here. And I like it. And I can totally get behind it. So if you want a motorcycle, go to this guy.
Yeah, I agree.
Woo! Look at that.
This is a nice one.
Mo, come on. Can we convince you, Mo?
That looks powerful.
That's actually an electric Harley Davidson. The Harley Davidson Livewire. Everyone's getting an electric. Electric, it's madness. The hype is out of control.
Very cool.
Porsche Apple partnership hinted at by carmaker CEO, but don't get too excited. Not that kind of partnership. They're not gonna make the Apple car. Does it have something to do with Apple CarPlay? Probably.
I think so.
Managers at sports car maker Porsche late last year traveled to the United States to discuss possible joint projects with iPhone maker Apple, as well as some other tech companies. Porsche's CEO said on Friday, "We already have Apple CarPlay. We will expand on that." Okay. He said that the Porsche and Apple traditionally cooperate closely and that they were on the same wavelength, but added it was too soon to make decisions on future projects. Here's what it should be. The iPhone should be the key. It should be the app. Find a way to like integrate it into your settings window or something without having to even open a separate app. Like your car is just a utility or something inside of the OS.
Could they do some sort of spatial audio in the car?
Let's do some spatial audio in the car. Let's get the TV Plus in the car. Let's get Apple podcasts and music. Let's have that natively without even connecting a phone. Let's have wireless Apple Car. I mean, there's so many different pieces to it. And then on the far end, on the most exciting end, is let's collaborate on an actual car.
Yes.
We'll put an Apple badge on it. You guys do all the software. We'll just do the hardware. We'll make the physical thing, and then you guys do the brains. And that's the most exciting, but the most unlikely. So we got to put that out there. Shout out Ajni. Porsche says 80% of its cars will be electric by 2030. Yeah, big commitments coming out of Germany. I'll tell you that. It has pledged to build out its own range of charging stations as well. They got some crazy fast charging capabilities, but it's just the network isn't really out there yet. It's all relatively recent compared to Tesla. The German luxury brand said that it had seen sales leap by 4.4 billion euros, which is around 4.8 billion USD, and plenty of interest in its models. For the third year running, Porsche's pure EV Taycan line managed to outsell the iconic 911 with over 40,000 units of the electric ride out the door, while the 911 only sold 38,000. So there you go. I guess it has taken over. Electric has taken over even Porsche, and they want to go further with it. They want 80% of their sales to be all electric by 2030. So that's a much bigger number, because even though the Taycan outsold the 911, it's not Porsche's biggest seller. They still sell more of those like little SUVs and stuff. And if once those go all electric, they'll probably sell even more of those than the Taycan. But they start with the Taycan. So there's going to be a lot of investments here. Audi's doing the same thing. So Germany's making some Mercedes. Germany, companies in Germany making some serious commitments and elsewhere.
Sure.
But I've been reading about these ones. DrDisrespect calls out YouTube Gaming after putting them on the map. So he is saying that he's basically built YouTube Gaming.
He does get numbers.
Pulls numbers?
But the people before them, they were big as well. Like Courage.
Yeah, I don't know. So it's kind of the persona, right?
Yeah.
The persona is I made this happen. The persona is, very macho. That's the thing, right?
Yeah, and he's macho.
That's what I'm saying. In the streaming world, perhaps no name has as much gravity as DrDisrespect. The 2019 Streamer of the Year has managed to maintain his prominence in the scene even after being permanently banned by Twitch. Although, I don't know, they had a court case. They sorted it out. I don't know who got paid. He's on YouTube Gaming now with a few others. But he says in his tweet, when you put at YouTube Gaming streaming on the map, yet they don't even follow you, tweet about you, mention you, etc. I mean, seriously, just stop and think about it for a second. We really are on another level, baby.
Wow.
You like the baby part. That gets you going.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so there's a little persona, there's a little flavor on there. But if you read between the lines, it's also somebody wishing that YouTube Gaming would acknowledge them.
Yeah. It's not.
It's a little, go ahead, Jack, say the word.
Well,
were you going to say it's a little desperate?
Yeah, like I was going to say, he's kind of coming across as like the tough guy, but underneath he's insecure that he's not being acknowledged.
There's a way to write it, which probably wouldn't sound that way. Yo, YouTube Gaming, don't act like I didn't make you. I don't know.
But does YouTube Gaming tweet about other people? Like they do.
They do.
They do?
They do. Yeah. They have their they have certain partners that are.
Do they have? Is there reasons
promoted.
why they wouldn't tweet about him?
I'm guessing because they want to be careful.
Are you talking
Maybe
about
because
the
of
Twitch thing?
the Twitch situation.
Well, he got banned from Twitch without any word. No one knew why. He claims to have known something more than anybody else, but it was just out of nowhere. It wasn't. The public never found out why.
Right. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And so he went over to YouTube.
Right. Put them on the map.
That's right.
And then he's getting nothing for it.
Well, I don't think he's getting nothing for it. He has a whole community over there and tons of people
Yeah, but
tune
no
in.
tweet.
No
Didn't
tweet.
get a tweet.
I guess he wants a tweet. So I don't know. Maybe they should just give him a tweet.
Give him a tweet.
He wants a
How
tweet.
hard is a tweet?
The guy wants a tweet. You give him a tweet.
Look at him.
All right.
Give him a tweet.
It's fine.
Jeez.
And I agree with you. Okay, sure. Give him a
least
tweet.
just to
It
shut him
doesn't
up.
take you that long to give a tweet. But it is surprising that he cares at all. I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems odd. But that is the difference. Like Twitch is so specific. It so specifically aims at this type of creator, whereas YouTube is enormous and vast, and like this is on YouTube and a billion other things are on YouTube, and you just kind of choose what you're into. And could be live, could be shorts, could be this, could be that.
Yeah. Has YouTube ever tweeted Unbox Therapy out?
That's a good question. Probably, but not in a long time.
Yeah.
Not in a long time.
We're
but-
probably due.
A couple tweets.
Yeah. They need to make up for it.
Imagine every YouTuber is like, I haven't had a tweet in a while.
Yeah. YouTube's like, God.
Give me that tweet. Like they're gonna set a precedent. Yeah. It's like a hostage situation.
Yeah.
They're like, we can't give in. We're gonna set the precedent. They're gonna know we pay the ransom. TikTok is rolling out its Snapchat-style stories to more users. TikTok is getting closer to its ultimate social media destiny. Snapchat style. So it's what you got: stories, you got longer form video in landscape. Everybody wants to do everything for you. If you this feature, I guess, is slowly rolling out. Maybe you have it, maybe you don't. If you do have it, you'll be greeted with a new banner when you launch the app, encouraging you to create a story. Adding a video or photo to a story works extremely similarly to taking a photo or video for TikTok's standard feature. With the same editing tools, effects, filters, and sounds, unlike a regular TikTok video, though, stories won't show up directly on your profile or feed, and they disappear after 24 hours. Seems to be the component people like. You like the disappearing.
Yeah, I need my things to disappear.
Yeah, I know it's common. Mo, you like the disappearing. Will, you like the disappearing. See, I don't really use social media, so
I was
can't.
kidding, by the way. I thought you were setting up a joke there about like not wanting.
Well, no, because I would assume.
Well, it's in a server somewhere.
Well, no. Wait a sec. I was being real. That if you go and use Instagram, are you more likely to use the
Stories,
story
for sure.
or
Yeah.
the post?
And is it
Gotcha.
because the 24-hour expiry?
Of course.
Yeah. And I think it's less yeah, and also like there's nerves associated with like posting something online. And or posting something in a big group chat where there's a lot of people. Like I don't know about you guys, but I get nervous if I say something in a group chat. I'm like, is anyone going to respond? Is that going to sit there for like hours? Is this going to be ignored? And it's the same with like a post on social media that stays there. It's just like, how many likes is it going to get? Is somebody going to... Like I remember actually consciously planning out my posts for times that I thought people would be more likely to engage with it. Like on a Friday night when maybe they have a few drinks in them and they're a little more likely to like... You know, they're a little happier and maybe they're like, oh, you know what? I'll like this post and maybe I'll take the time to watch it because I'm, you know, it's a Friday night and I'm on social media. I don't know, but these are things that went through my mind. So I don't know how we got here.
Let's, Jack, tell us more about how you approach things in life.
Okay. How much time you got?
Yeah, it's no, these are when it comes to friction on social media, these are all things that these engineers think about. It's like, wait, we make this change and it's ever so slight, but all of a sudden now you feel compelled to produce something because you're like, okay, these functions and rules work well for me. Whereas the other one was intimidating for this factor, or I didn't like this aspect of it, or whatever it is. And
there's way more posts on Instagram in general from people that I know. Like it has gone down dramatically. Like if I was to scroll through my Instagram, like I'm seeing 4 or 5 new posts before it's old stuff, and you know, this is hours in between. Like people just aren't posting like that anymore.
yeah, they got to figure out how to finesse it. It's the reason that they experimented with getting rid of likes completely, so that you don't have to feel embarrassed if you're not posting Friday night when people have drinks in them.
Right. Listen, it was a whole algorithm I had.
Time to post.
It's 8 p.m. baby, prime time.
They're captive. Yeah. No, I mean, people do crazy. We appreciate the transparency. People do crazy things.
Listen, I just
people do crazy things, man.
because the stuff I used to post was kind of like creative stuff that like I'm kind of putting things out there a bit. It wasn't just a picture of a sandwich.
You want to be appreciated.
Yeah,
I get it.
or just I wanted the likelihood of it being
Are you saying
seen
you don't want to
at
be
the
appreciated?
highest.
Are you saying you don't want to be appreciated?
No, I'm just saying.
Or the work. The work needs to be appreciated.
I just want to
you saying
give.
you want to be appreciated or not appreciated?
I just want the highest likelihood of it being seen. I'm not going to put it up at 4 a.m. on a Sunday night.
I know, but you don't want people to see it that hate it. You want them to appreciate it.
Well,
It's not
that goes
just
for everything. in
Yeah,
life.
it's not just seeing it. You want to be appreciated. You're searching, you're hunting for a little appreciation.
I guess that's where the beers come in. That they're more likely to maybe enjoy it. They're in a
Yeah,
better mood.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's why it's a heart.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a skull.
Right.
Imagine it was a skull. Well, that's why in the dislike button keeps getting diminished.
That's you.
Well, I always use the skull just because I love the skull. It's no one knows what it means or whatever, but I've never disliked anything. I'm not out here disliking things, but I'm also not liking them. So people could perceive that in a certain way. But I understand what you're saying in relationship to this idea of expectations around social media. And like I post something and then is that, what are the expectations around responses and timeliness? Because I suck with it. I suck with it to the extent where I know other people feel a certain way about it. If I don't like reply to something, or if I don't, if it's not a timely manner, it's a thing that I also struggle. If I got 17 messages, I'm like, I'll get to them later. I don't get to them later, often. And people need to learn that in that case. I'm putting a PSA out there. It's not intentional. It's not like a...
I think we knew that around here.
Any type of shot. No, to put it out
From
to
day one.
anybody who's watching.
Right, yeah.
Who tries to get in touch with me. But it goes to show you there's like this lack of context around expectations Like mine are different than yours and
Yeah.
everybody else. And it's never discussed. What are the rules?
It's funny when in our group chat, someone's like, "Hey Lou, I'm thinking of working on this from home today. Is that cool? Do you need me in the office?" Just like crickets all day long. like no response. And then it's just like, okay, well, I guess I'll do this then.
Well, in that case, I think no response is agreement.
Yeah.
And everyone understands that. And if I was to respond to that, it would only be to say, no, you can't do that because we got to do X, Y, Z.
Right.
That would be the I'm not going to disagree with what most people want to do.
Yeah.
Unless there's some reason. So but I hear you.
Yeah.
But people around here have adapted
Yeah.
to the situation. I appreciate the adaptation.
Well, when I ask you questions in the chat, I just stare at my phone and wait for.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
Don't even. That's a bad. But group chats are a whole different thing because anyone can
chime in.
Can chime in, and then they could be responding to something that's like 3 or 4 messages back, and then like my participation goes way down in a group chat, way down.
Yeah, same. The more people, the less I am likely to respond.
Way down. Yeah. I'm like the hockey group chat. Like I'm like, it never really goes beyond whether I'm going or not.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't go. Meanwhile, there's whole novels in there. I'm scrolling. I'm like, oh my goodness gracious.
Well, it's nerve-wracking because you see some people throw things out there and nobody takes the bait and it just sits there all day long.
Just rotting.
It's just rotting.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Well, you know what we learn here? It's better to just get together in real life anyway. Because then there's nothing is rotting. Everything's thriving.
Yeah.
All types of opportunities, better understanding, connections, things like this. So
there's no rotting.
No rotting.
This story's rotting.
This story's rotting on the page. Or it's also rotting for other reasons. Shout out Brevin. A woman's UTI was actually glass tumbler lodged in bladder for 4 years. A glass tumbler? In a bladder?
Yeah.
What? Like a drinking glass? What? Is this real, Will? New York Post, a woman whose doctors thought she had a UTI had a glass tumbler in her bladder for years. A 45-year-old woman had come to the hospital complaining of a typical UTI. Doctors were left stunned when scans revealed there was a glass inside her bladder, encased by an 8-centimeter wide bladder stone, which are normally so small they are hard to see with the naked eye. The woman from Tunisia revealed she had used the drinking glass. Oh, baby.
Ew, okay, well.
Jack got to the point in the article where he saw the reality of the situation.
My innocence is lost.
When you said okay, you said so in such a way that like you deserve it. And Jack was just like, that's okay. His sympathy evacuated his body.
I felt really bad, and then I was like, oh, okay, well.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's still, you want to go get it. Actually, you know what? Amazing that the body was able to function for that long at all.
Yeah.
With the glass in there.
Solid glass.
Is that the bladder, though? Jack, give us an anatomy.
I really want to look at that picture.
Give us an anatomy lesson here. Why is that? How is that in the bladder?
I don't know. Well, they said it in that line.
No, the bladder.
It must have moved up there.
Jack.
Because it started from the outside.
Jack.
And it was
Jack.
Forcibly
bladder.
Inserted.
Bladder.
And then it made its way there.
It took a turn to the left and went around the bend when you see the old oak tree there.
Left at Albuquerque. I'm assuming
various objects have been inserted into the bladder and many patients fail to remove them themselves and are very embarrassed to seek medical advice. Okay. Well,
what?
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, Will. This is a Willie Do special right here.
But I guess
what is that?
Eventually, your body kind of gets used to it, right?
Well,
like the size
I'm never getting used to that.
Is that?
Yeah.
It's the gallbladder.
I don't.
Jack.
Can we talk about the shirtless Shawn Mendes? I prefer that story than this.
Yeah. A little easier on the eyes. A little easier on the eyes.
Thank goodness that wasn't the last story.
Freaky blackout video from Tokyo. Looks like someone decided to turn off the world. Oh. We haven't had like a real blackout here in a while. I mean, I'll never forget the last one, that mega one. It was 2003. So eerie and strange in public.
People were just walking around aimlessly on the street.
So different times.
Yeah.
A late night motorcycle ride home takes a sudden scary turn as an earthquake hits late Wednesday night at around 11:35 p.m. A powerful earthquake shook Japan. The 7.3 magnitude quake was centered off the coast of Fukushima Prefecture, which meant no major damage to Tokyo, but it did result in one very creepy video taken in the capital. He was out riding for the night. I guess that's what the area normally looks like during the day, the intersection that he happened to be at in Tokyo. And let's see what the video shows us as the power goes out mid-ride. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Oh.
He's like, what the?
That would be scary. That would be scary.
At least he has a light on the front of his bike. But look, the other guy in front of him is like, what?
There are some lights I'm seeing.
It's like, what? Yeah, well, people might have battery-operated light or a generator. The generator kicked in right away. But, like, the street goes real dark.
Yeah, it's like someone turned off the lights there.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Can you imagine the world without light, without artificial light, no electricity, the time before electricity? I mean, it would have been dark out there. Anything could happen.
Just how it all goes off like that. Creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Nice clip, Will. Fantastic stuff. What a show today. A little bit of everything. Started with Mo, ended with Jack. Willie Do on the ball as usual. Didn't miss a beat. He was on fire today.
Even the UTI?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, yeah, cool.
You know, the people, they're unsure of for how long you can stay that on the ball, you know, because it's tough to do the balancing act. But your streak is unbelievable. Your consistency is unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, it's for the people, you know?
And personally, I think there should be tremendous appreciation for such things. Thanks, Jack, for treading water with us.
Yeah.
Mo was worried that you might enter a deep end.
I flirted.
You flirted,
yeah.
and
I think I came out all right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we just found out that you know how to swim.
Yeah.
You're like a tadpole.
I might need the little floaties on the arms, though.
Couple of floaties.
Out, yeah.
Couple of floaties.
Nothing wrong with that.
But my head's above water.
Mo's sitting nearby, you know,
Yeah.
and he's a readily available floaty if you need him.
Yeah.
You can reach out and grab him.
He's like the door in Titanic at the end of Titanic.
That's how I like to think of Mo, as a door in Titanic. Thanks to everybody who joined here today. Truly do appreciate it. All the super chats that came through. We love doing it. We love having you. And we're going to see you on Monday.
On Monday.
Later.